QSC. We appreciate you. It's now time for Logitech to present. We've got Andrew Mayer, our senior sales engineer, presenting here from Logitech. So looking forward to having you. Go ahead, Andrew, take it away.
Great. Well, thanks. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see all of our competitors and our partners out in the field while presenting today. It's great to see some the excitement around this industry. I always say there's a lot of room for all of us in the industry, and and we all keep each other working harder no matter which manufacturers are competing and working for your advice. But let me see what I can do about sharing what Logitech is doing today in regard to what we call the new logic of work. Now, the new logic of work applies to multiple ways of doing things. Now, I want to start off, though. So one of the things you're probably excited to hear about is some of our new technology. And believe me, I will get to it. But you might have noticed over the last 5 years, Logitech has really moved from what you classically thought of at Logitech, webcams, mice, keyboard, and even in the conference rooms, we were basically a USB peripheral device. So our original entry in there was Meetup and Rally Plus, and this isn't this is known stuff, right? And so as over the last few years, we've become more and more complex. And our original service plans, and I know this is boring, so please, I'm going to start with it first so we can get to fun stuff. But service plans are boring, but I want you to understand that for quite a while now, and many people haven't realized, we have a better service offering for your customers. And what I mean by this is Logitech includes a 2-year standard support warranty in all of its products. So out of the gate, without paying anything extra, you do get a basic level of support. It's called standard support. This grew out of kind of what we used to do. So in a Meetup world and a Rally Plus world, which are simply USB peripherals, often this is all that people needed. So the standard support gives you Monday through Friday business hours, 1-day business response times, things like that. Just, we didn't expect to have a lot of service issues. Now, as we move into the more complex world of some of our new products, especially as they're being deployed at enterprises that require more than, they require 24/7 support and maybe quicker response times than a single business day. And we have had this for a while, but I've made it my effort to try to make sure everyone is aware so they understand the different levels of support. And select service is that level of support that you need at an enterprise grade support. Things like 24 hours response, 24/7 support, 1 hour response times, things like next business day replacement if that's required. I'm not going to spend any time on. I'm an engineer. I don't get into pricing. What I will tell you is standard support is based off of devices. It's included in the cost of the device. And then if you extend that, you're going to pay for it per device. Select is per room. I would ask you to go to your sales teams and your sales. Brady Lowry is my counterpart on the sales side of things. I'm an engineer. This is a pet thing for me as an engineer to make sure that the right service levels are being put on products based on the expectations of the customer. If the customer expects 24/7 support and 1 hour response time, simply giving them standard support is not going to go over well. So just making sure that the right expectations are being met and that they're being priced out early on, that's my goal over the next little while. And then I just wanted to highlight that first, and sorry to get that off the bat because now we can talk about the fun stuff. So Logitech, we have a whole array of products that support the entire room end to end, and also all the way up to the personal devices. People know us from the personal devices, but and this new logic of work, this new day where people are working partly from home, partly from the office. They need high quality tech, whether they're in a conference room, at a desk at their office, or at home. And one key problem that has come up as we like to call it hybrid working, or what Logitech calls the new logic of work. As people spend some of their time at home and some of their time in the office, facilities are getting the stage where they're not necessarily giving everyone who used to have a desk. So what they're doing is setting up hoteling communities and hoteling cubes. Well, that's great, and you can set up some really cool technologies with it, but how do you manage that? And so that's become the next new problem in this world. And so Logitech recently announced, and this should be shipping very shortly. I think in November. I'll keep in my lane. I'm an engineer, so I don't get into sales and when things are available. But I believe it'll be in November. I wouldn't expect this taken longer than December. But the Logitech Flex, I guess the best way to put this is, if I took a docking station and took a room scheduler and they had a baby, they would be the Logitech Flex. The idea being, for all those spaces that are now being what a lot of people call hoteling cubes, or bookable spaces that used to be just in rooms were bookable. Now, many times cubicles are now bookable. Well, if they're bookable, I need a few things in there. First of all, I need a scheduling platform that works within my organization, and it connects up to my calendar. So there are multiple ways to do that at a scheduling platform. Logitech has built a very robust scheduling platform that integrates with Google Calendars, and it integrates with Office 365 and resource calendars that can be set up. But we've built that, and that's wonderful, and there's a lot of cool things that has. But we're also integrating, and this just became certified with Microsoft Teams, and will be and is certified with Zoom Workspace reservation on launch, which will be, again, in the next few weeks. Logitech will be able to be either the Logitech software, Microsoft Teams panel, and Zoom panel. These are now bookable stations. So, for instance, if I was at home, I know I needed a desk. Now, without something like this, I know there's a bank of hoteling cubes that I could sit in. So I'm going in on Tuesday and Wednesday to meet with some of my counterparts at the office. Well, I get there and all the hoteling cubes, or all the spaces, are already gone. I didn't know that before I left. With something like Logitech Flex, I can pre-book my desk so that I know, and so you can earn the commute of those who people are going into the office. I know I have a desk. I know there's a screen for me. I know it has a mouse and keyboard available for me. In fact, the Logitech Flex is a single USB connection to my PC that charges my PC as well. So with that I can walk into the office feeling very comfortable that I have a space. I know it's mine. It's all booked for me. I'm using whatever my platform. I'm either Zoom, Teams, or Logitech has an integrated platform that you can utilize. This is a very, very popular device, and it's not being released yet, and we're barely able to keep people at bay with getting these orders in. So this is growing. This is a growing market. I think when we built this, we were expecting people to be happy about this. We had no idea how happy people were, and after Infocom, the interest in this has risen extremely. So Logitech Flex is the first device I want to share today, and so that. Some I think I've covered most everything on that. This essentially, it's a docking station. One thing it does not have, just to be clear, you might know our Logi Dock, which is a docking station that includes a mic and a speaker system. That's designed for personal spaces, right? So there is no mic and speaker on this, because this is likely going to be put into open areas. So you're going to utilize your own headset. You'll notice there's USB-C and USB-A ports at the front. That's so that you can bring your own headset in and plug into it and utilize that if you require that. But you can have everything else sitting and available in the cubicle for you. Your mouse, keyboard, your screens. This has two. You can add two screens to this. One's a HDMI, one's a display port. Sorry, DVI. I don't know where I pulled that out of my butt. Display port, and so you can have two screens available to it. You can also have a webcam sitting available, something like our Brio or our new Brio 305. These are now available. So Logidock Flex, it's all coming very shortly, and yeah, that's the first new product that I want to talk about today within our new logic of work. The next thing is something fun with our conference cameras. Now this is an add-on to our conference cameras. Now we are trying to solve a problem. So post-pandemic, during the pandemic, everyone became very comfortable in utilizing and being able to see everyone within their own square. We got used to the 3 boxes you see here. We got used to seeing everyone within their own square, and then we moved back into the office, and then everyone's in a group view. Now, I'm not knocking group view or speaker view, our classic framing technologies. They're still very viable in the right rooms, but it became apparent that we needed to design around what a lot of people in the industry call meeting equity, an equitable space within there and doing that. So we looked at a few different options, and so we took our take, and the idea is that we put a device at the center of the room, and that's the site, and it's going to pick up each of the individuals at the table. And I'm going to stop here in a minute and show you a recorded video, but it's from a live meeting of what this looks like with that. So that's why am I? Come on, there we go. So this is the site experience. I'm actually going to show you a video, but this is a quick slide of what it looks like within Microsoft Teams room. So you'll notice that the site camera, which is a center of the room camera, this is not a 360-degree camera. So even though it's in a similar format of some of the 360-degree cameras that are out on the market, it is actually giving you 2 extra camera angles out at the table up close. And you'll notice that the rally bar is still giving you this context shot. And then these column views are provided by that center of the room camera. And again, I'll show you that here more in a second. This is what it looks like in the Zoom experience. Again, this is all done within the video stream itself, and we're giving you that experience. So what it's doing is, you'll notice there's 6 people in this room. Let's go back to this one. You're able to see it more. There's 6 people in this room. Only 4 of them are speaking at any one given time, right? And so it's giving you this experience. But what it's doing is finding the individual speakers and giving you the 4 most recent. Well, say 4 most recent talkers is probably not the correct way. Probably the 4 most recently active in the conversation talkers. So we still get the context of the whole shot here, but we get to stay actively involved in the conversation. So that's what's going on here. And again, let me stop sharing. Well, let me get the video started up so you don't have me wandering around on here. So I get this up and playing. Okay, everything's slowing down. Okay. All right, so let me just stop sharing and then share this video that we took of this actively working in a room. Now, this is what you'll see. So you're seeing just kind of what I've described before, very similar to what I just showed on there. These 4 people are having a conversation, and as the individual people engage in the conversation, you'll see this one lady on this one side. She didn't start talking until just now, and now she's talking. And so your group view is coming from the rally bar, and then the other view is coming from the site itself. So these 2 are bringing together those 2 views together. Some fun things that we're going to be bringing to bear. This is Site today. Site was released in August. It's now available. It's shipping. It's an extension of the rally bar, which means you have to have a rally bar or a rally bar mini in the room, and this camera connects to the rally bar, which provides this experience. So it does require a rally bar mini today. Now, some future fun things that are going to come next year or early next year. And the reason I'm bringing this up is to show you we have this great product now, and our developers are just going to be continuing to iterate on it. It's kind of like a hardware. It's kind of like a hardware canvas that our developers get to continue to paint on. 3 features that are going to be coming in the next 6 to 8 months, maybe a little longer than that. First one is the ability to take a Rally Plus system, which is our older large room solution, and there's a lot of them out in the field, and add Sight to that. That's coming pretty soon, probably early next year, maybe sooner, maybe later, but that's kind of the expectation is that. So you'll be able to go back to your old customers and say, by the way, we can give you this upgraded experience without doing a lot of additional thing other than adding this camera to it. The other one is for larger rooms. You notice this is about a 10-person size room, and that's about the right size for the Sight. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, depending on the room and distances and stuff. But so we're going to be able to add the ability to daisy chain 2 Sight cameras together to cover a larger space. Again, that's not coming till next year, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what's coming down the pipe. The other one is what's called smart switching, and this is probably the most exciting thing. And you'll notice on the video that we have, whenever they look to the far end, meaning they're looking to us on the watching the video, in the Sight column view, you see their ear, because that column view is done from the Sight at the table, and if they're looking at the far end, you're kind of seeing the side of their face. What we're going to give you next year is the ability for the Rally Bar and Sight to communicate together, and within that one column view, like right now, she's looking at the far end, and you're seeing the side of her face. In the future, the Rally Bar will be able to say, hey, I see her better, and in just that column view, whoever's looking at the far end will be able to see the Rally Bar take over for that. That's a new experience that will be coming next year. It's called smart switching. It is not here today, but it is coming. So a lot of exciting, cool things. Sight is a wonderful experience, top of the line experience today, as is. We're going to be giving you a better experience as we move along. So then I have one last thing to share. So let me get back to my slides so we can get through that, and then I'll open it up for questions. So here's a quick rundown on Sight, just some things for it. By the way, Sight is its own microphone as well. So in those situations where I would normally have a Rally Bar and a microphone out of the table, Sight will take place of one of those microphones. Rally Bar supports 4 microphones, and Rally Bar Mini supports 3 microphones. This would take place of one of them. So this is both a camera and will take place of one of those microphones. So for instance, in Rally Bar, if I had a Sight, I could add additional 3 microphones still to that and cover a room. So this would take place of one of those microphones. It does have 3 different mounting options. There is a table mount, which means it just sits right on the table. And then there's a grommet mount, which I can drill a hole in the table. That'll make it so it won't move. That's my preference, but it does mean drilling a hole in the table. And some people don't want to do that, so we have just the stand mount, which has a microsection on the bottom. It makes it feel like it's gluing it down, but it doesn't actually use glue or adhesives to do it, but it does make it do that. And then there is a tripod mount as well for that. By the way, for any of you who are technical based, these are connecting back to the Rally Bar using Cat 6 cables. Much better than our proprietary mic cables of the past. And so that's a huge new update, and so the Rally the Sight there. Now I've already talked about Rally Bar Mini. Now Sight connects to only Rally Bar and Rally Bar Mini. In the future, it'll connect to the Rally Plus, as I described, and we just released a new product called the Rally Bar Huddle, and it won't connect to that. But let's talk about the Rally Bar Huddle, because it is a brand new device. Now, remind you some of the specs of the Rally Bar. So the Rally Bar has a 15x camera designed for larger rooms. I can add up to 4 microphones to it. The Rally Bar Mini has a 4x digital camera with a mechanical pan and tilt. It does multiple screens. It has a lot of cool features on it. But the Rally Bar Mini was a little over-featured and oversized and overpriced for about half the rooms that we had originally intended it for. And the problem is just there's some rooms that don't need multiple cameras, multiple cameras, multiple screens, and multiple mics like the Rally Bar Mini has. You notice there's multiple cameras here. And so what about those smaller rooms? And it needs to be at a price point that that is it. So we released the Rally Bar Huddle. This little bar is just kind of filling that smaller gap. A lot of people would say, hey, the Meetup filled this gap. One of the problems with the Meetup is that it doesn't have the onboard intelligence. Like to connect it up, I always had to connect it to a Windows-based PC or something of that to give it both integration with like Teams and Zoom, but also things like acoustic noise cancellation and speaker and group framing and framing technologies, right? So the old Meetup is still very useful. It's a sub $700 device and likely be played in those budgetary scenarios. But the Rally Bar Huddle is a device that's about $16.99 MSRP. I'm not a sales guy, so if you want your discounts and all that stuff, please reach out to your selling team for that. But this has an onboard operating system. So this can, without adding a PC, this can connect to Teams and Zoom. But it can also connect to those Windows-based room systems that we have, and it can be a BYOD device. It's got an automatic privacy shutter, which means when it's not in a call, it just automatically closes, and when I join a call, it automatically opens. It's got an easy swappable covers. This came out of, first of all, it doesn't have a mechanical pan and tilt camera, which means I can give you that automatic cover. I don't have to put like a manual cover on top of it like the Rally Bar and Rally Bar Mini need, because they have those mechanical pan tilt cameras. This can have that automatic camera because it's got a 4K camera sensor that is static. So it's sitting available, so I can do that. It's got a swappable cover. This cover comes with either whiter graphite, but you can take it off and you can put a cleanable cover if you want to. Plus, some of our partners, including Heckler, have built the ability to do customizable covers. So like you could swap that off for maybe a company logo, or if you're in an education, you could put like animals or ABCs up there, making it very customizable. So the Rally Bar Huddle, but the Rally Bar Huddle does not integrate with Sight. And because I'm presenting them together, I want to make sure that that's clear. This is for smaller rooms. Smaller rooms don't necessarily need an extra camera. This is for those simple to deploy situations. And I have about 6 minutes left, so I want to open the time left up for any questions that anyone has.
Yes, we do have questions, Andrew, and you are a phenomenal presenter. We always love hearing what you have to say about these exciting products. Thank you so much. That was informative and exciting, and your energy is contagious. We have a ton of questions here. So the first one is a comment/question. It says these Logitech camera products are meant for small to medium conference rooms, not a large or extra large conference room or board meeting setup, correct?
That depends on the product. The Rally Bar Huddle, that is absolutely true. So the Rally Bar has a 15x camera in it. You can expand it up to 4 microphones. So that's perfectly suited for large boardrooms. Rally Bar Mini would be in that medium to small room that maybe you need two different screens and a little bit more features. And the Rally Bar Huddle would be maybe 4 to 6 people room, a small conference room. So depending on the product, you are right, but the other products definitely can support those larger rooms.
Terrific. Thanks for that clarification, Andrew. If someone's on a video screen, does the framing select the person on the screen, or is it smart enough to ignore the person's screen?
So you're talking about like this comes up all the time, like if there's another screen in the room and the camera sees that screen and someone from the far end, it is smart enough to know that. However, there's some technologies that comes to the Rally Bar today and the Rally Bar Mini, and will eventually come to Sight in the near future, like within the next quarter. It's all called camera zones. So no matter what we teach AI, there is always those outliers. Now, I will say 90% of the time, you're not going to get covered if you have a screen on there. However, my guess is this is coming from a situation where maybe in those 10% of times it has still come up. And it also comes up if someone's walking behind, like if you have glass walls and you've got framing technologies and someone stands up at a window. So we've added camera zones. Camera zones lets you tell it the distance that it will not frame someone in. Now that's currently not here with Sight today. Sight Sight, it's coming for Sight. Sight was just released, but on the Rally Bar and Rally Bar Mini, that camera zones is available today, and so you can. The AI should 90% of the time not pick those up, but in those 10%, you can actually set it so it just won't even look at all that stuff, so you won't have to worry about those. So that's
okay, great. Thank you so much. And here's another question. How does a laptop without USB-C work with the with the Logidock Flex? Does it have HDMI input or just HDMI full-size DP outputs?
So if you have a laptop that doesn't have USB-C, you're probably not going to be able to use the Logidock Flex, and it's likely older technology. Most newer technology laptops use USB-C. So if there's a situation though that you maybe want to look into, please reach out to me directly, because there might be some other details I'm missing just from that question. But in a typical modern world, most laptops that companies put out have a USB-C integration, and that's how you're going to connect to it. And then the Logidock, it's just like a normal docking station that way. You're just connecting it via USB-C.
Okay. And does Sight mount on a TV with Rally Bar or on a table with participants?
Sight is a table with participants. Sight is, marketing's going to hate this term, but I'm going to say it this way because I think it helps visualize it. It's basically a Pringles can sitting in the center of the thing with two cameras on it, but it's a cylinder base. It's a cylinder that sits in there, and it has the extra cameras mounted on there, on there. And so it sits in the center of the table.
Great. Thank you for that. And finally, how do you use the Logidock with a permanent desktop station, Andrew?
Permanent desktop station, again, if it was your personal space, I probably wouldn't use the Logidock Flex. I'd use the original Logidock, and that's so at home in your personal office where it's only yours. I'd probably buy the Logidock itself. It's going to give you a mic and speaker, and it's designed for individuals. Logidock Flex will be in those hotel cubes, and that's where you'll have it. Adds that, it takes away the mic and speaker on it and gives you that scheduling panel on there. And they're very similar. I would say they're brother devices, but one is slightly different. But again, you bring your laptop in, you plug into it, it automatically lights up all the pieces in there. So it's now going to be your screen. Now the mice and keyboard connected to that dock will be available to that laptop. Does that make sense? Now you can probably use it with a desktop, but I don't know if that's necessarily, again, would have to take some detail. So if you have any specific detail, like maybe a customer have something beyond the general, reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss that with you. As you see, my email address is on the screen. If you're going to ask for things like, you can still reach out and ask for things like pricing and stuff, but you're probably going to have me forward you off to Brady Lowry, who's the guy with that. I'm going to help you with the speeds and feeds and the connections and how it works and all that stuff. So,
all right.
We are out of time.
We are out of time, but we had a ton of questions. Thank you so much again, Andrew.
Nicole, please send me all the questions. I'll answer them via email, and you can send them out to whoever needs them and everything else. So
excellent. Well, we actually have 2 giveaways from Logitech. Thank you so much for your generosity. We have a Zone Vibe wireless headphones and a Brio 4K webcam. These over-the-ear headphones, they've got Bluetooth, a USB receiver. They're certified for business. They're perfect for hybrid work, and that webcam.
By the way, I use the Vibe and a Brio. So
yeah, that's the 4K webcam. It's got HDR noise canceling mics. That Brio captures every detail. Very, very exciting for the next winners. We actually are going to ask you to pick 2 numbers between 1 and 150 because we've got a ton of participants. Thank you so much for joining us again, everyone. So again, Andrew, can you start with your first? If you pick a number between 1 and 150, don't pick 15 or 85 because those 2 have already been chosen.
Okay, I will pick 34.
34. Okay, so number 34. This is for the Zone Vibe wireless headphones. Number 34, we have Andrew Hawley. Congratulations. You are the winner of a pair of Zone Vibe wireless headphones. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to pick something kind of out of the middle because I believe the extremities of these numbers probably always get shafted. So I'm going to pick 97.
Number 97. Okay, so this is for our webcam, number 97. Okay, number 97. Oh, Tanya Young. Congratulations, Tanya Young. You win the Brio 4K webcam. What a terrific prize. Thank you so much.
One in the middle and one on the extremities.